Good morning students. I hope you are all doing good. Let us see what we are going to discuss in today's class. Good morning students. In today's class we are going to start with a new chapter that is called thermodynamics. By seeing the heading of this thermodynamics itself, we can understand the concept, what we are going to discuss in this chapter. Let us see. Thermo is the term related to energy. Dynamics is the term related to movement. Thermo is the term related to energy. Dynamics is the term related to movement. Transformation or movement both are same only. Transformation of energy from one form to another form was discussed in thermodynamics. This is not definition, simply I am telling thermodynamics. Our topic heading is thermodynamics, in which thermo is the term related to energy, dynamics is the term related to movement or transfer. Transformation of energy from one form to another form was discussed in thermodynamics. So we can tell what is meant by thermodynamics. Thermodynamics is the branch of chemistry which discusses with transformation of energy from one form to another form. For example, in so many molecules, chemical energy is stored. In so many molecules, chemical energy was stored. Is it okay, ma? While the chemical reaction is going to be taken place, chemical reaction is going to be taken place, this chemical energy is released in the form of heat energy. In molecules, chemical energy is stored while the chemical reaction is going to be taken place. This chemical energy is released in form of heat energy. Okay, while methane is going to be burnt, means methane undergoes combustion. While the methane is undergoing combustion, chemical energy is converted to heat energy and light energy. Heat energy is converted to this is chemical energy. chemical energy is converted to heat energy and light energy. This is one example. Next, in batteries, chemical energy is converted to electrical energy plus heat energy. In batteries, chemical energy is converted to electrical energy plus heat energy. Suppose we are using mobiles. While we are using mobiles, while we are using mobile, that mobile is not connected to any cable to electric circuit, correct or not? In that, one battery is there. That battery will convert chemical energy inside to electrical energy. That electrical energy only used by the mobile to undergo this every operation present in that mobile. Along with that, heat energy is also released. That's why after using some extent, if you touch that mobile, it will be hot. One form of energy is converted to another form of energy. Here also one form of energy is converted to another form. Like this, so many processes are happening by the conversion of one form into another form. Is it okay? All these types of process we are going to study under the heading thermodynamics. All these types of process we are going to study under the heading thermodynamics. Once again, thermodynamics is the topic related in which we are going to study in this concept movement of energy. That means transformation of energy. Thermodynamics is the branch of chemistry which discusses with transformation of energy from one form to another form. Is it okay? Now, after studying this chapter, we will get clarity in the following questions. Now we are going to study this chapter. Generally, we will think that what is the importance of this chapter and what we are going to study in this chapter. Okay? We are going to face different types of questions. In that, first question is, how do we determine the energy changes? How do we determine the energy changes involved in a chemical reaction? What drives a chemical reaction as a process? To what extent do the chemical reactions proceed? Like this, different questions were raised to us. These questions will be answered in this concept. Which one? Thermodynamics. This is the introduction part of thermodynamics. Is it clear? Mainly, we are going to study any process which is involved with conversion of energy from one form to another form. That is the main concept in this thermodynamics. Okay, next. To undergo or to study the next coming topics easily, we need to know some basic terms. Those basic terms are called thermodynamic terms. Okay, ma? In that thermodynamic terms, first one is system. What is meant by a system? Suppose while we are studying this chapter, to understand different processes, we want to go for observation of any one equipment. Suppose let us consider example beaker. In that beaker I have taken water up to some extent. Okay, now we are examining that water is contained in that beaker. That is under observation. This full part is under observation. Is it okay? The equipment or the substance which is under observation is called system. The substance which is under observation, that might be equipment or whatever it is. The substance is taken in one beaker or test tube, whatever it is. We are going to examine one substance. Is it okay? To understand the changes in that substance, we want to examine that one. That substance which is under examination or observation is called system. Generally, water is taken in one beaker, it is under observation. Suppose other solvent, benzene, is taken in one beaker. Like that, whatever, we are going to study one substance under the heading thermodynamics. That substance which is under observation is called system. Other than this system, whatever the remaining they are present, those are called surroundings. That is only our second term, surroundings. What is that surrounding, ma? Other than system, remaining part of universe is called surroundings. Other than system, remaining part of the universe is called surroundings. But while a system is under observation, generally, suppose that beaker is taken. That beaker is kept in one room. Excluding that room, the total atmosphere, everything, that is universe only. But we cannot observe total universe at a time. Is it correct or not? Generally, system will be observed, okay. Other than that system, remaining entire part is not required for us. But only small part, which is very nearer to the system, is required to us. Very small part, which is very nearer to the system. That is considered as surroundings, generally. But general term is nothing but, this is the room. In this room I kept system. This system is under observation. This is system, and other than system, remaining part of the room is called surroundings. That is enough, because which is major in contact with the system, that is only. Neighborhood of the system is called surroundings. Neighborhood of the system is called surroundings. But general term, we will say that system plus surroundings equal to universe. But that much universe, remaining surroundings, that much no need to discuss, man. Is it okay? So under thermodynamic terms, we have seen that system and surroundings. Once again, what is meant by system? The equipment or the substance which is under observation is called system. Okay. For doing experiment, definitely one thing must be considered for observation or research. That one is called system, and that system is in contact with definitely atmosphere or any other thing, whatever it is. Suppose example, in a room I kept a beaker full of water. A scientist is doing experiment on this water which is kept in beaker. This is called system. Now this system is in contact with this whatever it is present in the room. Excluding this system, it is called surroundings. This is enough. The neighborhood of the system is called surroundings, because that system is in contact with throughout universe also. But that much universe no need to consider, because that scientist is standing in particular room, okay, so that room is in contact with the system, that is only sufficient. We can tell that as surroundings. It is enough. Okay, system plus surroundings equal generally universe, but while we are considering this thermodynamic term surroundings, neighborhood of the system is called surroundings. That is enough for us. Is it clear? Next, these are the two terms which are called thermodynamic terms, system and surroundings. Next thing is types of the system. What are the different types of system we are going to study? In that, first one is open system. Let us consider one beaker kept with hot water without lid. This is open end. Okay, so this system can exchange. This is the system and this is surroundings. These are the surroundings, this is the system. This system can exchange water molecules, because this is hot water, they can convert from liquid state to gaseous state. These water molecules, they can enter into surroundings. Water molecules will come under matter. Okay, between system and surroundings there is an exchange of matter as well as energy also. Heat energy is transferred to surroundings. That's why hot water, if you kept in surroundings, after some time it will come to normal temperature, because heat energy will be lost to surroundings. Is it correct or not? So the system which can exchange both matter and energy with surroundings is called open system. See the definition, ma? The system which can exchange both matter and energy is called open system. The system which can exchange both matter and energy is called open system. I hope you are clear about open system. Next we will go with the closed system. Okay, ma? Note down this definition carefully. Next, closed system. Same like that beaker only, which is kept with hot water but we have closed with the lid. That lid is made with copper or any metal which is good conductor of heat. That lid is made with copper or silver or whatever it is which is good conductor of heat. Then what will be happen here? This is the system and this is the surroundings. The matter, that means water molecules, cannot enter into surroundings because closed lid is there. That's why this lid is not allowing water molecules to enter into surroundings. So no exchange of matter. Matter cannot be exchanged. But this lid is good conductor of electricity only, na? That's why energy can be exchanged. Energy can be exchanged, but matter cannot be exchanged. That type of system is called closed system. The system which can exchange energy only, the system which can exchange energy only but not matter is called closed system. The system which can exchange energy only but not matter is called closed system. Okay, this is the example. We kept one lid. Through that lid, these molecules cannot exchange. So matter cannot be exchanged, but energy can be exchanged with surroundings. So the system can exchange energy with surroundings but not matter. That is called closed system. Okay ma? Next one, isolated system. Isolated system example, I have taken one beaker with hot water which is thermally insulated, means we kept one lid which is bad conductor of heat. We kept the lid which is bad conductor of heat, as well as this total thing is kept in thermos flask, closed with thermos flask. Meaning this is totally bad conductor of energy, heat energy. So this total system is kept in one container which is bad conductor of heat, that is called thermos flask. From this, matter cannot be exchanged, as well as heat energy also cannot be exchanged. Matter cannot be exchanged, as well as heat energy cannot be exchanged. Is it correct ma? With surroundings. This is surroundings. This is system. This system cannot exchange energy or matter both with surroundings. The system which cannot exchange both energy and matter with surroundings is called isolated system. Now we will see the definition. The system which cannot exchange both energy and matter with surroundings is called isolated system. Is it clear ma? These are the types of systems. First one, open system, which can exchange both heat energy and matter. Coming to closed system, which cannot exchange matter but it can exchange heat energy. Third one, isolated system, which cannot exchange both energy and matter. That is called isolated system. These are the types of systems. Next, system and surroundings should be separated by a surface called boundary. System and surroundings should be separated by a surface called boundary. Boundary can be real or imaginary. Observe these terms carefully. System and surroundings should be separated by a surface called boundary. That boundary can be real or imaginary. For example, I have taken a beaker of water up to some extent. Is it okay? Which is not kept with any lid. Here we have to imagine one boundary. Actually, this is not present. Frankly speaking, there is no lid present here, but we are imagining one boundary, means one line, which is going to separate surroundings from system. This line is going to separate surroundings from system. This is called boundary. Already I told that boundary can be real or imaginary. Here this is imaginary. Now I kept one closed container which is containing lid. Here this is real only. Okay, this line separates surroundings from system. This is boundary. In this condition boundary is real. Here this boundary is imaginary. Okay ma, till this whatever it is discussed, are you clear? Hope you are understanding every concept clearly. Next we will go to state of the system. State of the system. In gas state, already we have seen pressure, volume, temperature are the properties of a gas, If you change slightly the pressure and volume, temperature is going to be affected for that gas. Or if you change volume and temperature, pressure is going to be affected. Like that, if any one property or two properties are varied, the other properties are getting differed. Is it correct or not? Like that, we told pressure, volume and temperature as well as amount of gas, these are the important properties of a gas. Like that we told. There, why we considered for only gas, those are, even if little bit change is there in pressure, volume and temperature will be changed considerably. Even if little bit change in volume also, pressure and temperature will be changed considerably. That's why there we have discussed for gas. Okay, but these pressure, volume and temperature, this pressure, volume, temperature and amount of gas defines the state of the system. Pressure, volume, temperature and amount of gas defines the state of the system. Defines means depending on these terms we can say the state of the system. That is the meaning. Depending on these terms we can say the state of the system. I hope you are understanding. That is only our heading, state of the system. Depending on what properties we are going to define the state of the system, those properties are called state functions or path functions. Pressure, volume, temperature and amount of gas, not only these four, etc. are state functions or state functions are state variables, not path functions. State functions are state variables. Once again, pressure, volume, temperature and amount of gas defines the state of the system. Okay, these are called pressure, volume, temperature and amount of gas, etc. are called state functions or state variables. What is meant by state function or state variable? I think you are clear. Little bit more clarity I will explain. Before that, these are going to define the state of the system. Whether the system must be in liquid state, solid state or gas state, that can be defined by these properties. Along with these properties, some other also there. Those properties also we will discuss in our thermodynamics chapter. No problem. Presently, for understanding purpose, I am taking these examples. Pressure, volume, temperature and amount of gas etc. are state functions or state variables. Now what is meant by state function or state variable? The state function depends on only state of the system but not the path followed by change in state of the system. State function depends on only state of the system but not the path followed by change in state of the system. For example, solid is going to be converted to liquid. Solid is going to be converted to liquid. Okay ma? Whatever the path this is followed, that means by heating solid can be converted to liquid. One path is by heating. Next, by supplying electrical energy. By supplying electrical energy also heat energy will be developed, but that source is different or not. This is one path. By heating solid will be converted to liquid. By providing electrical energy solid can be converted to liquid. Is it correct or not? Two paths are there. Whatever the path will be followed, solid is going to be converted to liquid only. Is it correct or not? Whatever the path we are going to follow, by heating directly, by supplying heat energy or by supplying electrical energy, a solid is going to be converted into liquid only. Is it correct? These pressure, volume, temperature and amount of gas etc. some more properties are also there etc. These are all depending on the state of the system only. Whether it is liquid, for this liquid we will consider pressure, volume, temperature, or for this solid only we are going to discuss pressure, volume, temperature. But how this solid is converted to liquid, the path, depending on that path, this pressure, volume, temperature will not be changed. See, for solid here we have P1, V1, T1, pressure, volume, temperature, P1, V1, T1. For liquid, P2, V2, T2 we have. This is first path it is following. For this solid also P1, V1, T1 only. For this liquid also P2, V2, T2 only. There is no change in pressure, volume, temperature for this liquid, for this solid, even though they followed the path heat energy or by electrical energy. Are you understanding the concept, ma? Whatever the path followed by the process, whatever the path followed by the process, whatever it might be, they are independent of the path followed. That is the meaning. These state functions are independent of the path followed. They will concentrate on only state. There is no chance of path followed in this chapter. Okay, in chemical kinetics 12th class chapter 4 chemical kinetics, we will study path of the reaction also very important there. Path of the reaction is also very important. But in thermodynamics, we don't bother about path. Is it okay? The state of the system only, it is very important. That is the meaning here. State function depends on only state of the system but not the path followed by change in state of the system. Whatever the path followed by the system, it is not important to pressure, volume, temperature and etc. Some more extra properties are also there. We will discuss them slowly. Okay, that is the meaning of state function or state variable. Pressure, volume, temperature are called state variables or state functions because their values depend only on the state of the system and not on how it is reached. In order to completely define the state of a system, it is not necessary to define all the properties of the system, as only a certain number of properties can be varied independently. Is it okay, ma? This is about state functions or state variables. I hope you are clear about this concept. Next, one more important thing is thermodynamics discusses with big changes in macroscopic particles. Macroscopic and large number of molecules. Thermodynamics does not discuss the small changes in microscopic particles and small number of molecules. Okay, that is one more important term. That is not that much. Just by knowing that it is enough, man. I hope you are clear till this one. Okay, our next side heading is the internal energy as a state function. What is our next slide heading? The internal energy as a state function. Internal energy is represented by U. Internal energy is represented by U. Okay, see here, ma. Suppose let us consider water in a beaker. This is the considered as system. This water initially while we are taking, that water contains stored with some amount of energy. That might be heat energy or whatever it is, electrical energy. The maximum that is stored in the form of one form of energy. Is it okay, ma? That is called internal energy. Internal energy of the system. The amount of energy stored in the system is called internal energy of the system. Once again, the energy of the system, the energy stored in the system is called internal energy of the system. Okay, that internal energy can be varied. The internal energy of the system can be varied by heating the system or by directly heating the system or by providing electrical energy. Whatever the technique by using, we are going to change the internal energy of the system. Is it okay? But that internal energy of the system depends on state of the system only. It does not depend in what way we are going to heat. That means this is by directly heating or by providing electrical energy. In what way we are going to heat the system, that is not bothering about internal energy. Internal energy bothers about change in system, initial state and final state only. It won't bother about the path followed. That's why internal energy is also considered as state function only. Is it okay, ma? Internal energy is also considered as state function only. Now, heat energy of the system can be changed by, internal energy of the system, not heat energy. Internal energy of the system is changed by. internal energy of the system is changed by, first one, heat passes into the system or out of the system. We are passing heat from outside, or the system itself it is losing out of the energy. By that also internal energy of the system is changed. Second one, work is done on the system or by the system. Work is done on the system or by the system. Third one, matter enters or leaves the system. By using any one of the techniques, heat passes into the system or out of the system. Work is done on the system or by the system. Matter enters or leaves the system. By doing any one of the following process, we can change the internal energy of the system. We can change the internal energy of the system. Suppose when heat is passed into the system, internal energy will be increased. When heat is passed out of the system, then internal energy will be decreased. Next, when work is done on the system, internal energy of the system increases. When work is done by the system, it loses the energy. When work is done by the system, it loses the energy. So internal energy will be decreased. The total energy content of the system is called internal energy. That is changed by following techniques. When matter enters into the system, that might be increase in internal energy. When matter leaves of the system, that might be decrease in internal energy. Like that, by using the following techniques, we can change the internal energy of the system. Is it clear, ma? What are those? Heat passes into the system or out of the system. Work is done on the system or by the system. Matter enters or leaves the system. Okay? So, our heading is internal energy as a state function, and these are the ways we can change the internal energy of the system. Now, we will concentrate on what about work. By doing work, how can we change the system, internal energy of the system? Next, by heating, how can we change the internal energy of the system? Those concepts we will study in next class. Is it okay, ma? So there we will get on new properties, work, heat. These two properties we will get, ma. In next class we will see clearly what about those two properties, and by doing work how we are going to change the internal energy of the system, and by giving heat energy how we are going to do the internal energy of the system, how can we change the internal energy of the system, and by third way, by supplying both work and heat energy, how can we change the internal energy of the system? Like that, three cases are there. In next class those three cases clearly we will study, okay, and we will continue the concept. Now in today's class, in thermodynamics we have seen that introduction part of the thermodynamics. What is meant by thermodynamics? Everything clearly we have seen. Thermodynamic terms, system, surroundings, and types of system: open system, closed system, and isolated system. After that, state of the system examples we have seen, and we introduced internal energy as a state function. Okay, ma? These are the concepts we have studied today, and in next class we will continue this concept. Thank you all. Have a nice day.